You can see here the new ones that I put on, the ones that have been sitting in the box for 6 years. It's been on here about a year. And we'll see when we take these off if the ones that have only been on here for a year come off a little easier than the ones back here that have been on forever. All right, I'm going to start the process of taking all of these off and replacing them with the new ones. You can see here this one's coming loose, and you can see that on this leading edge or close to it, it's coming loose and that film's left behind. But I pulled up here and it's starting to come loose without that film. So I'm hoping, as you saw in the last video, when I pulled one up like this, that I can make this work for most of these, especially these ones that are back toward the back where there's not as much sun damage. This looks good so far. See if this will come up clean. There we go. It's coming up sort of clean. I'm going to put the camera down so I can use two hands. It'll be shaky. I might have to delete this footage, but I'll show you the aftermath if it works or if it doesn't work. That is almost completely clean. You can see a little bit of this right there. That's pretty good. That's a good start. I'm gonna try another one and another one and another one. We'll see. It's kind of hard to get up. I mean, they're stuck on here. This is the process I'm gonna try to get these off. Looks good. All right, that's two, and you can see a little bit right there. I'll have to clean that up. That'll be easy. There's not a lot of scraping to be done there. All right, so that's two toward the tail of the board. As I've said, that's the easy part because the sun's on it less there. So I'm gonna turn around and try one up toward the middle of the board. I'm gonna try one here. This is one of the discolored ones, so it's one of the old ones. Yeah, I think the camera's sitting there, it's gonna be shaky. So I'm gonna have to cut it and cut back in. That one left a little bit more residue right there, but not too bad. So the hack from the last video is working. These are ones that sat for about 6 years in a box. You'll see how they come up. Okay. All right, that's gonna work. Just gonna continue pulling these off from the back. See, now this one is not coming up with the thing, it's leaving the film down. You see it right there. See, it's leaving that film down. So I'm gonna try every corner and try to get it up, started clean. That seems to be the way to go. Check back in with you in a second. So I got this one started from this corner and it started to rip right there. So I kind of went this way and it actually picked up that was coming loose right there at the back edge. So I'm gonna work my way this way and see if it won't pick up that bit there. You can see that's coming loose. The film's leaving down right there. So I'm gonna come from this way and see if that won't pick it up. And that's kind of what happened in the video last video, from about a year ago when I was doing this. I got one to come loose like this. No, maybe not quite. Maybe though. This way. Got it. It's gonna work. Pretty clean. All right, this is another thing I wanted to show you. There's another spot here where this happened. I think right over here. I'm not sure, but it happened right here. This was come up clean. But as you can see, it's coming up clean, but then that happens. So it starts pulling up a bit of the board with it. These things are on here, and that's okay for this board, I think. You know, this is one of those bulletproof epoxy boards, painted. So I'm just pulling up a bit of the paint, I think, but on a poly board, I'd be freaking out. Now it's happened again, bigger spot, a little deeper cut. Really not happy about this, but it's quicker than it was going last time. Look at that. Pulling up a pretty big chunk of the board's outside layer. As you can see, we just paint, but still not ideal. Again, to be fair, these have been on here for 6, almost 7 years, which is beyond what they recommend. But these are expensive. You don't want to just take them off just cause. That's why they've been on here for so long. All right, here's another look at the board. I finally got all the old hexagons off. And as you can see, we got some carnage left behind. Some of them came off clean, as I showed you in the last video. Some of them didn't, as you can see here. Some of these left the film still, some of them left some of it. Some of them, as you can see here, ripped off a big chunk of the board. And here, as you can see, basically the entire hexagon came up and took a chunk of the board with it. Not too happy about that. So I don't even want to see what this stuff would do to a poly board if you were trying to take these things off of that. But I'll try to get this cleaned up. I don't think I'm going to have time to get this cleaned up and get the new ones on it for this week's video.